you should feel the weight of the number you wear. Instead of retiring number 8, there should have been a Salesi insignia on your shoulder. You're wearing number 8.
Absolutely.
And the next guy that wear number 8 should be Sal and Hannibal. And the 94 should be Al, and 2 should be Dion and Shedeur, and like all these other guys, I'm pretty sure Wheeler wore 2, there's a lot of guys that have played, and there's too much turnover in college football to consistently just retire every number. You won't have any numbers left. Yeah. So I wanted to get your take on this before I drop some and in fact, you know what? I'll say it first and then get your take on it because I don't want you to have bad information. So I talked to Westbrook and Cordell yesterday about this for a long time. And Mike called Coach Prime and just kind of pressed him on what's happening, right, with the whole jerseys retirement. And it's isolated a lot of players and yada, 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 yada. And Coach Prime said blatantly that this was Rick George's idea. It was brought up like almost 8 months ago, which would have been 8 months ago is the beginning of the season, right?
Yeah.
Around that time, 8 months ago, so the beginning of the season, before 9 wins, before the Heisman, before the Johnny Unitas, that they retired these guys, numbers at the spring game. And I guess Coach Prime was a little reluctant to do it. But then after the season played out the way it did, and he got the Heisman and the Unitas and all these other awards, he decided to do it. And then, it's kind of morphed into this, like, it's the old school against the new school, and it's just one school. I just don't understand how there's so much decisiveness. What do you think about all this? It being Rick George's idea, like, do you think Prime should have said no? Like, I don't even know where to go with this shit, bro.
Yeah, man. I've been back and forth with this. Like, Ben Kelly called me last night. And I've actually had Dan Graham call me, Ben Kelly. I've had a lot of people call me the thread. I mean, my Buffalo thread has been blowing up. And, BK's position was that, by doing that, it's not that he's hating on the the younger guys, but by doing that, you're erasing or acting like there was no history at Colorado before this, right? And I think that's what some of the older guys are seeing is like, okay, it's great that you're retiring this person, that person, ever, but before Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, there was a big Colorado culture of Colorado winning history of players doing a lot of amazing things, right? So by doing and retiring the number so quickly, you're erasing. Ben Kelly just got his number retired. He's an All-American, two-time All-American at Colorado and done a lot of great things in Colorado. He just got retired. He's been out of Colorado since 2000 or 90.
Yeah, wasn't he your year?
Yeah, he's younger cat than me, but he was 2 years younger than me, But yeah, man, you got Dan Graham. He's in the Colorado Hall of Fame, and he's in Colorado Hall of Fame and the Colorado University Hall of Fame, right? So he's not up there. He's not. His stuff hasn't been, And the thing is, I guess they also have a problem with the winning of it, right? So they didn't win the Big 12. They haven't won any national championships. They haven't done any of these things, right? So Colorado has won a national championship. Colorado has won Big 12 before. Colorado has won Heisman's before. Colorado has won Thorpe Awards before. Like, Buckets Awards. Like, Colorado is a beast, right? So I think some of the older guys are just feeling like that's erasing or trying to act like we're just now starting a tradition of winning or starting a tradition of Heisman and all these awards. Like, when Colorado, essentially has been doing this for years. Personally, I don't know, man, where I stand, especially with that new information you gave me. I was kind of like, maybe Prime just doesn't know, but Rick George knows a lot, right? So I don't know.
See, Rick was there when we were winning national titles.
Yeah, that changed my whole perspective, man. I didn't know that.
On the show, we've had him before, and I'll try and get him on again, and I'll ask him these questions. Everybody knows I ask tough questions, but then this is a really cool part about it. So, and the people in the comments, we understand that Coach Prime doesn't have anything to do with that. We're talking about the entirety of the situation. Relax. Again, it's not the Prime sexuals against Colorado. Everybody's in this together.
No, I love Prime, man. I love Prime.
We love Prime. Hannibal and I are on the goddamn sideline all the time, hanging out with you. Shut up. Yeah. So, like, Michael goes on to tell me that Coach Prime said this to him, and it really hit me. He goes, Mike tells me that he talks to Prime. They obviously played together with Washington and then, like, played against each other forever and yada, yada, yada. So they're talking, and Coach Prime just says straight to Westbrook and Cordell, if you guys played under me, your jerseys would have been retired a week after you were gone. I'm not waiting on anything. Why should we wait for greatness? So look, when he told me that, I just sat back and I was like, okay, Coach Prime has changed the game in every facet since he walked in. Why wouldn't he try and change the game here too? If Rick George came up with the idea and Coach Prime ran with it, okay. I never had a problem with the guys getting retired. It was necessarily didn't have a problem with it at all. I'm more going off of the reactions of everyone else. Like, I'm not angry that it's happening. I was a little dumbfounded, like, holy shit, they're going to retire these guys' number. And here's my other question. Are they going on the east side of the stadium or are they going on the west side of the stadium? The west side of the stadium has 4 names. The east side of the stadium has 25 names. And they're like, there's just a lot of confusion. So I'm trying to just open up this Pandora's box here where Coach Prime, after he said that to Westbrook, it calmed down Mike, it calmed down Cordell. It had everybody thinking a little bit differently, and this is what he does. I mean, Coach Prime plays it like a fiddle, and he's doing it again. So with that information, Hannibal, how do you feel?
I kind of changed my thought. I mean,
it changes.
First of all, I wasn't as mad as everybody else. I do think it was a little bit early, egregious, especially for Shedeur. But he did, he broke some records, and he's still an outstanding player. And what Deion said is true. I just think that, I wasn't bothered by that. I think that, you look at Rashawn Salam, he won the Heisman. He died without even knowing that his number was going to be retired. So I look at it like things like that, right? Like I knew Rashawn personally, and it bothered him that his Heisman wasn't recognized. It bothered him that his Heisman wasn't, and I say it wasn't recognized in the sense, obviously they had this thing and they had certain things in the building, but they didn't do what they're doing with Travis right now, right? And if that would have happened, what could that have done for his life?
Overall.
Right? Overall, right? So I don't really have a problem with Deion. Like everybody else, I'm like, damn, what are you doing? That's kind of early. But it's a new day and time in college football. It's a new day and time in sports. It's a new day and time. And if with that last little, information you gave me, saying that makes sense. Like, why are we waiting for great? If that's what he's doing and he's changing things in Colorado and he's making his own tradition, I ain't got no problem with that.
And so I'm with you on this. I don't have a problem with it either. In fact, after getting that information last night, I called Bailey and I was like, look, I'm 180'd on this pretty quick. And I was never really mad at it. I was just a little dumbfounded because I understand the history of the university and grew up a huge fan and played in an era, shit, man. I was the last senior to win a bowl game there, and I'm 43. That shit's not cool. So we got to fix that. But number 2, I'm looking at this like it's kind of taking me back a little bit because I respect Rick George so much and what he's done, and we all love Rick. But if Rick is so eager to get Shedeur and Travis up on the wall, which makes sense. Travis just won the Heisman, is one of the best players I've ever seen. Travis has won the Heisman, but best players I've ever seen, and then Shedeur came in and rectified the program. He's Coach Prime's son. If that's the case, then why has it taken so long, Rick, for the old school guys to be noticed? And why does this have to happen in order for that to happen? Because it's going to. Like now this is going to force them to start retiring numbers because they don't want to look bad. But it shouldn't have never gotten to this point. Why is it that Travis and Shedeur and what they just did in a 2-year span is more important, in his opinion, because he pushed for them to get retired, from what I'm understanding here, than everything from like Phil Lindsay should be retired. That was 2016. Like there's from 2004 until like 1986, I think there's about a whole lot of winning and a whole lot of titles and Big 8 titles and Big 12 titles and NFL players and All-Americans. I feel like my question to Rick would be very simple. Like why is there a difference in standard for these two than there is for everybody else?
What if Deion stays in Colorado for the next 10 years and he becomes the Alabama, and just wins and wins and wins. And he says, right. And he says, Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders set the platform for this new kind of wave of what we're doing. I don't know. I'm trying to find the goodness out of, or why the thought process of what this could be. Because 10 years from now, if he wins, nobody cares, right?
Yeah, I get
Honestly.
it, but didn't Sal already do that? Sal did that in the 80s. Sal rectified the program and brought him back from a fucking 1-2 win season. So, but I'm not saying that that's not right. I agree. They both, bro, we were dog shit for a long time. It was embarrassing. You know this. So what they did and what Coach Prime has done cannot be understated. But is it?
But they still didn't win no games. I mean, they didn't win the Big 12. They didn't win the national championship. And Colorado has won a national championship. Colorado has won Big 12 championships. Colorado has won Big 8 championships. Colorado has done these things. So I guess that is the thing. I mean, you know, I know the history of Colorado, so it does kind of throw me back. It just doesn't bother me because I think we're in this new age of stuff. So I'm just kind of rolling with it. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of like,
just got to take it. We just have to take it.
Yeah, we just got to take it, man. I mean, because
it's a good thing, right? It's good medicine. It's not bad. It's not like we're getting screwed.
Right. I just take it as it is, man. It's a lot of worse things they could do besides putting somebody's number up because they did well at Colorado, right?
That's true. I was on the phone yesterday with Michael Westbrook and Cordell Stewart for a long time. Okay. Mike called Prime and they had a long conversation about all of this. This was Rick's idea. It happened 8 months ago. Coach Prime was reluctant at first to do it. And then Travis won the Heisman. They won 9 games. Almost played for a conference title, and Shedeur won the Johnny Unitas and the Maxwell and some other shit. He green lighted it off of that. And when Coach Prime said to Westbrook, Mike, if I was your coach and you broke all those records and you were on all those great teams, I think the 94 team, even though they lost to Nebraska in Lincoln, is I don't even think it's close. I think the 90 team and the 89 team are special, but the 94 team was fucking unreal. Unreal. Heisman Trophy winner, Cordell, Mike. I mean, the defense was fucking loaded. They were as good as you get. I think they're the best team in Colorado history. And for Coach Prime to say, like, if I was your coach, your jerseys would have been retired in the spring or the next year. This is something that we're changing at the University of Colorado and we're going to run with. And it calmed down Cordell, it calmed down Westbrook, it calmed me down, it calmed Hannibal down. It calms all of us down because it's clarity coming from the boss. And he's the boss. Rick George might be the AD, but Deion's the boss. Period. Usually it's the other way around.
Right.
And that's just not the way it works in Boulder these days. And we're going to try and get Rick on the show. Again, he did a great job the last time he was on. It was an awesome episode talking about Prime's extension and, you know, keeping him here. And he was right and we were right once again. But I'm begging, and I really need you to put this into the vertical that you make, Bailey, because I know you're going to chop this one up like fucking Michelangelo over there. Nunchuck Michelangelo, not the fucking painter. I need everybody, whether you're a prime sexual, and if I say that to you and you get upset, then bro, take a joke.
Yeah.
Or you're an old head, you're an old buff. We got to come together, dog. This bickering back and forth at each other's shit is played the fuck out. It is not happening, and it is bullshit. Coming at me because I think guys jerseys numbers should be retired, while I'm also saying that Hunter and Shedeur should be retired, is fucking ridiculous. Questioning my loyalty to the University of Colorado or Hannibal's or Chad Brown's or fucking Alfred Williams or Dave Logan or all these other guys, it's laughable. Fucking laughable. And you wouldn't do it to us. You'll only type it.
Yeah,
you'll post it on Twitter. And you'll be tough. Some guy in Minnesota yesterday who's a huge Buff fan, and he has 28 followers, said he wanted me to go to Minnesota to fight. Dog. If you pay for the ticket, I'll come. I love fighting, dude. I'm with this. You're threatening me. You pay for the ticket. You put me up in a hotel. We meet at the park, and I get to pummel your bitch ass and break your fucking neck and get on a plane and come home. I'm cool with that. I'm with this. So I'm just saying, like, we don't need to be at each other's necks for something that should be celebrated. That's it.
Yep. Well said.
Come on, man. And let's actually look at what's happening. We're retiring 2 players that are generational at Colorado's number. Is it happening abruptly? Yeah. Does Coach Prime give a shit about people's schedules? No. Is he about changing the way things are done? And he has been since day one. Yes. I should have been smart enough to see this coming, but I only got one eye, so fuck off. The fact that he's so open and available to explain it also tells you a ton about the man.
For sure.
Because a lot of coaches would just be like, oh, you're questioning me? Fuck you. And he didn't do that. He doesn't do that. He takes time to talk to everybody and make sure it's smooth and make sure they understand where he's coming from. And once you understand where they're coming from, it usually smooths the shit out pretty quick. So if you want to be mad at somebody, number one, probably look at yourself and your miserable fucking life and the fact that you need to get angry over something that's so awesome. We just won a Heisman. We won 9 games. Shedeur's going first round. Travis is going probably number 2. I wouldn't be surprised they both end up with the turds, which might turn a piece of shit into a diamond.
Yeah.
So, like the things are good in Boulder. They've got great young talent. Coach Prime just signed an extension. Hopefully this motivates Rick George to really pay homage to the past that he was a part of.
For sure. But
looking at it after 24 hours and hearing everything that has happened and talking to several different people about it, I'm not mad at Prime or Shedeur or Hunter for taking the honor. Shedeur and Travis didn't walk into Rick George's office or Deion's office and say, retire my number or else.
Yeah, exactly.
What, you're not going to take the fucking honor?
You say no? Like, come on.
Shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
So there's so many people that are just jealous. They're jealous. And that's okay. This is something to actually be jealous about.
Yeah.
This is something where like a really good player that doesn't have his jersey retired is going to look at it and go, what the fuck? But then if you really understand why it's happening, your mind's going to change, period. So, number one, this was a Rick George idea. It got signed off on by Prime. I think it will end up being a very minimal thing in the historical context. It's not like you can say that they shouldn't be on the wall.
Right.
So the whole did they go 13-12? Yeah.
Yes.
But the fact that they pulled out of the gutter and the way Shedeur played, he deserves to be on the list with Cordell and Darian Hagan and Platt and Pesavento and all these other cats that have played there. He's way better than all of them. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think he's the best quarterback in Colorado history. And that includes Cordell.
That's a big
and that's high praise. And if he goes to Pittsburgh and he gets to follow in Cordell's footsteps and play there, I think that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Just if you go to Cleveland, understand you're playing for a team that's named after shit. So
yeah.
Look, man, there's no way to make everybody happy. Everyone these days thinks they're a fucking sports expert because they watch sports. I'm not a movie expert because I like movies. They just entertain me. Okay? Folks, I'm begging you to just trust the process and let's come together as Buffaloes here. We stand shoulder to shoulder for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care if you're just a Coach Prime fan and you just adopted CU. Good. Come. The bandwagon's still fucking relatively empty. Jump on. Okay? But then when shit happens and people question something, it's the biggest story in college football. It's the biggest school in college football. There's nothing that they can do that doesn't get max fucking coverage. Nothing. Like Coach Prime could pick his nose and flick it at somebody and they'd be like, Coach Prime assaulted someone with a booger. Let's talk about it on fucking PTI at 4 p.m. So it's fucking ridiculous, bro. And I hope everybody can move past this. And then let's try this. This is happening on Saturday at the spring game. There's no amount of discontent or old heads that are going to stop it from happening unless you go petition, which none of you creaky motherfuckers will
yeah.
petition nothing. I'm against protesting. I just don't know how to show it. Everybody just needs to get behind this, dog. Make it a celebratory day. Put the numbers up, and then let's focus. If it's really that big of an issue, and people are really pissed off about this the way that they are, we need to have a fucking meeting with Rick George immediately, and we need to figure out how to start getting the guys retired that deserve to be fucking retired. And then what does that look like? What is deserving of jersey retirement?
Yeah, that you got to look at that too, because you can't retire every jersey, Matt.
You can't retire everyone's jersey. And look, just because you were a good player somewhere does not mean that you're a retired jersey player.
Right, yeah.
Like, this is the thing that I say about the Hall of Fame and I say about jersey retirement. If you can write the story of the Colorado Buffaloes and leave out Shedeur Sanders, he probably shouldn't be up in the Ring of Fame. Can you do that?
I don't think so.
Can you write the story of the Colorado Buffaloes right now and leave out Shedeur Sanders?
No.
Nope. You can leave out Shiloh. That's why he's not involved in this. You can't leave Shedeur out, though. You damn sure can't leave out Travis. That's not even a fucking debate. Anybody that wants to have the Travis Hunter shouldn't be on the wall debate. You're a fucking moron.
Oh, yeah, come on. Yeah.
Okay, so I look at that, too, with the NFL, like with the Hall of Fame. Can you leave Dan Marino out of the story of the NFL? No, he's a Hall of Famer, bro. Can you leave Eli Manning out? No, he's eventually getting in. He beat Tom Brady twice. That's all it took. All the other games don't mean shit for Eli. Those two, though, got him in the fucking Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Period. Can you write the story of the NFL without Deshaun Watson? You're fucking right, you can. He ain't no Hall of Famer.
I mean, he's definitely not a Hall of Famer, man.
No, like he's the Hall of Fame rum and tugger, but he ain't no Hall of Fame football player.
Yeah.
The Chicago backhand, you know what the Cleveland backhand is, right?
Cleveland backhand.
The Cleveland backhand.
You and Deshaun.
It's where you go down low and then back. It's dirty Cleveland steamer. The reverse Cleveland steamer. It's better than the fucking Oklahoma hand grenade.
Oklahoma hand grenade. All right. John Morant with the hand grenades and shit. Here's what I'll say about this jersey retirement thing. It's the
Oklahoma hand grenade.
Like, I don't understand. I still am baffled, Matt, your interactions on Twitter yesterday going at people. And these aren't like, how do I say this? The prime sexuals. Like,
hold on. This is what I'm talking about. He's not my kin. He's a good safety at CU. He's not getting his jersey retired, though. Get his nuts out of your mouth, dog.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
This is what I'm saying. It's the prime section. It's not like Dalvin. Shout out to Dalvin. Shout out to Gucci. All these like big time people who have like prominent accounts have been covering them for at least 2 years. Shit, these are like new people, man. I've never seen go at you or me or anybody. I'm like,
it's okay. I can't even read the fucking comments half the time anyway. So whatever.
Yeah, well, they gotta at least respect the alumni. Jesus, like
no, you don't. You don't have to respect us.
Okay.
But the only fucking reason that place is there is because of us.
Yeah, have to respect you in some capacity.
Like,
shit.
Come on, dog. Coach Prime when he got the job, I remember him saying, "You guys are used to winning here, and I'm going to bring it back," and he did. So now it's been time, and I've been trying like fucking hell to just morph all this together. But it seems to me like people would rather bitch at each other about what? Like, we're good, so let's bitch at each other about it?
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
Like, Colorado fans bitching at each other, you sound like a bunch of fucking little kids fighting over a toy in a fucking preschool.